Let's draw a cute girl with a Christmas tree in Procreate. You'll get a free drawing guide, brushes, and a color palette to follow along. I'll guide you step by step and share helpful tips and tricks, secret techniques, and Procreate features I use all the time. To follow along with me, you can download the free file and my 3 main brushes. My patrons get access to a more detailed guide, exclusive tutorials, and the full set of brushes. You can draw your own sketch first, or you can simply turn on my sketch and learn rendering process right away. To draw a sketch, let's first turn off my sketch. Then unlock Proportion Guide layer and adjust its transparency as you want. Lock the layer again. Go to Color Tools, and in the Value tab set Saturation to 0 and Brightness to 0. This gives us pure black. For the brush, let's pick Gesture Pencil. Adjust its size so it becomes thin, and let's draw the eyes. First, draw arcs. Then connect them. We have a little perspective there, so this eye should be a bit larger than this one. To easily adjust it, let's choose Selection tool, select Freehand, and draw a selection over this eye. Now let's choose Transform tool, select Warp and change shape, making it a bit wider than the second eye. For the eraser, let's choose Signature Graphite. If you press harder, it will erase the line, and if you press lightly, it will soften it a bit. Create a new layer and draw a rough circle. Hold for a second, and then choose an option to create perfect circle at the top. Choose Transform tool, select Uniform, and adjust size of the circle. Duplicate this circle. Choose Transform tool and move Copy to the right. We can select both circles and adjust them at once. Now I'll pick this one and move it a bit. Create a new layer and let's fill the space. After that, I'll double-tap the pencil to switch to Eraser and erase everything that's around the pupil. For those who didn't know, we tap with 2 fingers to undo an action, and we tap with 3 fingers to redo an action. Let's decrease opacity for this layer a bit. Merge these layers. Create a new layer and draw a nose. If you'd like to try different shapes for the nose, choose Transform tool, select Distort, and play with the shape. We also have Warp, which works completely different. Draw mouth as I do. And then merge all these layers. Create a new layer. Draw an eyebrow, and with the Transform tool, here we can use Freeform deformation. Duplicate eyebrow, go for Transform tool and flip horizontal. Move this eyebrow, Make it a bit longer than previous and merge them both. We have one more amazing deformation feature. It's located in Adjustments and called Liquify. We mostly only need to adjust its size to use it. I'll merge all layers and create a new layer. By the way, if you want to use a reference, you can unlock it and place it where you want for convenience. Let's draw a hairline. Here I'll pick Selection tool, choose Freehand, make a selection, go for Transform tool, choose Distort, and adjust line like this a little. Let's start drawing a headband right here. Don't draw a perfectly round line. You probably will do it wrong. It's much better to keep in mind the planes of the head, draw a rough line with angles, and use it as a guide to draw a round line after that. As you can see, I constantly use the undo and switch between brush and eraser. Do the same and don't try to draw perfectly right away. There's simply no reason to draw clean. Sketch looks much better when you see there was some work behind it. I'll switch to previous layer and draw a line for the hair. I need to raise headband, so I'll go for Selection tool, choose Freehand Selection, select headband, and then use Warp to adjust it. Now I'll switch to previous layer again and move on with drawing the hair. I named this pencil gesture because in sketching the most important thing is finding gesture. Don't be stiff, make lines flow one into another. After that, make them lighter with the eraser and draw a clean line. To draw a perfect arc, hold for a second after drawing a rough one, and Procreate will let you edit arc as you need. I'll merge all layers, finish the hairline, and draw a neck. By the way, you can draw everything on one layer if you want. Let's draw a body line, a hand line, and let me show you another example of finding directions and proportions by drawing very rough. Just try anything you want, then make lines lighter and draw over them. To draw hand, let's draw a line here first, and then draw from this point. Here it's important to understand that we use a contour form to create fingers behind. Draw this rectangle, and it will do most of the job for you. Don't be too precise. If it doesn't work for you, don't worry. You'll get better with time anyway. Let's turn off Proportion Guide and clean the sketch with eraser a bit. You can also draw a Christmas tree and use your version of the sketch to move on, or you can use my sketch. Time to bring this cozy illustration to life with colors, lights, and shadows. First, I'll delete this sketch, turn off Proportion Guide, make sketch layer visible, and create a new layer. Pick this color, choose Signature Graphite, adjust size, and draw the outline of the head. For eraser, let's also use Signature for now. Let's use Autofill to fill the shape. To do this, drag and drop color from the color icon like this. Create a new layer, pick this color, and draw the outline for the hair. Don't forget to change size of the brush time after time. Here I decrease the brush size a little. Let's use Autofill, and as you can see, it isn't perfect in this case. That's because I didn't press hard when drawing the outline. Let's tap with 2 fingers to undo, and try to fill the shape manually. I see that still the edge is too light. To make it denser, let's simply duplicate the layer, and then merge the copy with the original. Create a new layer and choose Pastel Pencil. Pastel Pencil reacts to pressure dynamically, so let's press a little at the start and make pressure much lighter by the end of the line. Now let's choose Transform and select Warp. With Warp we can easily change shape like this. Draw another line and then create a new layer. Pick this color, choose Signature Graphite, increase its size, and draw a shadow on the girl's face. Don't be afraid to go outside of the shape. If you want to remove the extra, double-tap the pencil to use the eraser. Let's tap this layer and select Clipping Mask. Now the shadow is visible only on the girl's face. Create a new layer, pick this color, and here let's draw a big shape first. After that, switch to Eraser and erase everything that goes outside of the shape. Don't forget you can rotate canvas like this for convenience. Create a new layer, pick darker color, draw a shadow for the headband, then tap on the layer with the shadow and select Clipping Mask. Create a new layer for the ears, pick this color, draw the ear, and if you're unhappy with the shape, choose Transform tool, select Warp, and adjust the shape as needed. Create a new layer, pick next color for the ear, draw shape like this, and use Warp if needed. Create a new layer, pick this color, and add details to the ear. Here I'll press Signature very soft to create smooth transition. Merge these layers, create a new layer, pick this color, adjust Signature to about 10%, and draw the outline of the arm. After that, I'll fill the shape with the brush. Another great tool to adjust shapes is Liquify. Go to Adjustments, select Liquify, and edit shape like this. Create a new layer, pick color for a shadow, add volume like this, and after that let's add lines. I'll choose Plush Pencil because it will be perfect for that, but you can use Pastel Pencil if you have only my 3 basic brushes. Now let's tap on this layer and select Clipping Mask. Create a new layer at the very bottom. Pick this color. Switch to Signature Graphite. Draw the outline for the body, and then fill it. Now let's use Warp if you see like you could change the shape a little. Create a new layer. Pick darker color. Add a bit of volume on the left. And then add a big shadow on the right. I make second stroke very light to create soft transition. Now let's apply clipping mask to this shadow. Let's create a new layer at the very bottom again. Pick this color and draw second arm. I'll rotate canvas a little for convenience and fill the shape. To edit shape, let's go to Adjustments, choose Liquify, adjust size, and tweak the shape a little. Create a new layer on top of the arm. Apply clipping mask. Pick this color and add a little volume like this. Now let's create a new layer right below the face layer. Select this color, decrease signature size, and draw a neck. Create a new layer, apply a clipping mask, pick this color, and draw a shadow on the neck. Now let's go for Transform tool, choose Warp, and adjust shape if needed. Let's create a new layer below the neck and pick this color. If you are not sure how to draw, unlock Reference layer, move it where you need, and then lock the layer again. Now let's switch to the layer that we've created and draw a color. There's no need to copy the reference exactly. Draw the overall shape first, and then fill it. Here it would be very nice to use Liquify. Select it, adjust size, and tweak the shape a bit. Change Liquify size depending on the area you're working on. Now let's create a new layer for the ribbons, decrease signature size significantly, and draw them. Here I'll use Eraser to remove rounded ends. To play with proportions, let's go to Transform tool, and then switch between Distort and Warp to adjust the shape. Merge these layers, choose Pastel Pencil for the brush, decrease its size, and create a pattern like this. Create a new layer at the very bottom, pick this color, and draw a hair with the signature graphite. I'll increase signature size to fill the shape more easily, and then create a new layer. Let's pick color for a shadow, and here if you will press harder, you'll get solid shadow like this. We don't need that, so let's press very soft. Tap on the layer with the shadow, apply clipping mask, create a new layer, apply clipping mask, Go to Color Tools, then select Value tab, decrease brightness a little, and add deeper shadow like this. Let's create a new layer over the top hair layer. Apply clipping mask, pick this color, add shadow with increased signature graphite, then switch to eraser, increase its size to make it soft, and make a soft transition. Let's switch to gesture pencil, and here we have the same story. If you press harder, you'll get a dark solid line. We don't need that here, so let's press softly and draw a few lines. Create a new layer right below the color. Pick this color, choose Signature Graphite, and draw the outline of the Christmas tree. I mostly fill the layer with the brush, but you can use Autofill. Now let's add a beautiful gradient to the Christmas tree. For this, let's create a new layer. Go to Color Tools, enter Value tab, decrease brightness for about 15%, and then shift hue from 154 to about 175. Increase signature graphite size a lot, and start drawing gradient from medium pressure to very light. After that, we can go to Adjustments, select Curves, and make gradient darker or lighter. What we can also do is make gradient more gradual by using Warp. Now let's apply clipping mask to this layer, and I'll merge both layers. Create a new layer above the Christmas tree, pick darker green color, switch to pastel pencil, and draw these beautiful lines. If you feel like they're too dense, you can lower opacity. Let's apply clipping mask, switch to the Christmas tree layer, and create a new layer. Select Signature Graphite, and use medium size to draw soft shadows like this. After that, erase the extra, and make the shadow transition softer. Switch to the Christmas tree layer again, create a new layer, and draw another shadow. After drawing shadows below each line, merge them, and then lower opacity. Let's also add shadow on the top of the Christmas tree. Switch to Gesture Pencil, and add some lines. This will be enough. Now create a new layer for the star, pick this color, choose Signature Graphite, decrease its size so it becomes natural in texture, and draw the outline of the star. I'll use Autofill. And to fix this flaw, I'll duplicate the layer, and then merge original with the copy. If you'd like to play with the shape a bit, go to Adjustments, select Liquify, adjust size, and edit shape. Let's finish drawing the star. And to add visual interest, I'll use Mellow Pencil, but you can use Pastel Pencil if you don't have all my brushes. Though Mellow Pencil is perfect for this task. Let's create a new layer, apply clipping mask, choose this color, select Pastel Pencil, and draw corners like this. If you'll draw a line and hold for a second, Procreate will create a perfect line. If you get confused on how to draw this, use reference. Create a new layer, apply clipping mask, pick this color, and draw highlights. Let's also add a little highlight here. Now let's create a new layer, use color for the highlight, switch to Signature Graphite, draw a small circle, hold for a second, and choose Circle from the options above. Fill this circle, duplicate it, select the one that's below, go to Color Tools, decrease hue to 30 degrees, make top layer invisible, and fill the layer. It obviously lacks some saturation, so let's raise it and fill the layer again. Make this layer visible again, then go to Adjustments and select Gaussian Blur. Drag pencil on the canvas to the right to blur the shape. Duplicate it many times until it becomes prominent. And then merge all copies. Now let's choose Top Circle, go to Adjustments, Curves, and make it more bright. Now let's come back to this one. Go to Adjustments and select Hue, Saturation and Brightness this time. Here we can quickly adjust saturation and tone. Now let's select them both, choose Transform tool, switch to Uniform, and make them smaller. I'll move them here, group them, and then duplicate this group to create a reserve copy just in case. Now let's tap on this group and select Flatten. Now you can duplicate this light as many times as you want and move them around the Christmas tree. Now let's merge them all, and if you'd like to move one of them after this, go to Transform tool, choose Freehand Selection, select Needed Light, and move it. Let's create a new layer, pick this color, draw a bow, and then go for Liquify to edit shape a bit. Here, let's significantly decrease signature size. Create a new layer, apply clipping mask, go to Color Tools, Value tab, decrease brightness a little, and switch to Gesture Pencil. Draw lines like this, and then decrease opacity. Create a new layer below, pick this color, and switch to Signature Graphite. I'll use Autofill, and here I'll fix this flaw by simply drawing over this line. Create a new layer below the bell, use the same color first, then go to Value tab, decrease saturation and brightness a little, and fill this layer. I'll decrease brightness even more. Create a new layer, apply clipping mask, pick this color, add volume to the bell, then simply create a new layer, pick this color, and draw a highlight. Let's use eraser to soften it a little. Then duplicate this layer to make it more dense, and then merge original with the copy. Create a new layer below the lights, choose Gesture Pencil, draw an arc, hold for a second, and Procreate will create a perfect arc. Decrease opacity for this layer. Draw another arc. And if you choose an option Edit Arc, you'll have control points to adjust it as you want. Now you can merge all layers related to the bell, duplicate it, and place copy here. Create a new layer on top of the arm, pick this color, decrease signature size, and draw a sleeve cuff. I'll use eraser to remove the extra. Then choose pastel pencil for the eraser. Decrease its size and create small circles like this. Now create a new layer under the sleeve cuff. Pick this color. Draw a hand. Bring hand layer down. Use Liquify if you feel like you want to edit shape a bit. Create a new layer, apply clipping mask, pick darker color, draw a shadow, then switch to pastel pencil, and draw lines. Here I'll draw bold line, then switch to Signature Graphite for the eraser, and make it more soft with the eraser. Create a new layer on top of the lights, pick this color, choose Signature Graphite, and turn on Symmetry by going to Canvas, enable Drawing Guide, edit Drawing Guide, choose Symmetry, move Symmetry line here, tap Done, and draw some symmetrical decoration. I'll use Distort. Then Liquify. And then use Eraser a bit. To disable Symmetry, tap on the layer, uncheck Drawing Assist, and then turn off Drawing Guide to remove Symmetry line. Create a new layer, decrease Brightness in the Value tab, decrease Signature size, and draw a pattern. I'll remove Layer's opacity to make it less prominent, switch to the main layer, and use the eraser to create a small opening. Now let's create a new layer. Pick this color, draw a small line like this, duplicate it, bring copy down, flip it horizontal, and move it to the left a little. I'll also use Distort a bit. Create a new layer at the very bottom, pick this color, and fill the background. Create a new layer, pick a color for a shadow, increase signature size a lot, draw a rough shadow around the picture, then increase eraser, soften transitions a bit, then go to Adjustments and use Gaussian Blur. Now we can go to Transform Tools and edit this shadow using Warp. To make this shadow more dense, let's duplicate it, merge original with the copy, and then decrease opacity if needed. Now let's go to Adjustments, select Hue, Saturation and Brightness, and play with the tone a little. I'll make this shadow a little more saturated and light. Now create a new layer above the sleeve cuff, pick this color, and draw a candy cane. Let's use Liquify to adjust the shape if needed. Then create a new layer, apply clipping mask, pick this color, and draw stripes. To draw small flags, create a new layer first, then draw the outline, fill the layer, go to Transform Tools, select Warp, adjust shape if needed, create a new layer, apply clipping mask, pick this color, decrease layer's opacity, and draw a pattern. To draw a string, create a new layer below the decorations, pick this color, switch to pastel pencil, draw a line, hold for a second, choose arc from the options above, and adjust this arc as you need. After that, you can decrease opacity for the string layer. Now create a new layer above the second arm, pick this color, choose Signature Graphite, draw a first layer for the hand. After that, create a new layer above the star and draw fingers. I'll use Liquify to edit a thumb. and move on with other fingers. Create a new layer, pick this color, choose pastel pencil, and draw lines. Create a new layer, pick this color, use small signature graphite to draw a sleeve cuff, and then use eraser to create a little circle. Now let's create amazing shadows. I have all these decorations on one layer. Let's duplicate this layer. Bring it under the shadow. Move it like this. Pick this color, and if you'll feel it like this, it won't work well. So instead of doing this, let's tap on the layer, choose Select, create a new layer, and fill selected area. Now let's remove selection, delete original layer, and use Gaussian Blur. After that, I'll decrease opacity of this layer. Now let's duplicate Christmas tree layer, then the star layer, bring star copy down, merge both layers, tap on this layer, choose Select, create a new layer, and fill selection. Remove selection, delete this layer, select this one, go to Transform Tools, and use Distort. After that, switch to Warp and tweak shape a little. Reduce opacity for this shadow. Then go to Adjustments and apply Gaussian Blur. Now let's draw a small glint. Create a new layer, pick this color, go to Color Tools, Value tab, decrease saturation, decrease signature size, draw a line, hold for a second. Procreate will create a perfect line for us. I'll move this line, go to Adjustments, and select Curves to make it brighter. Then duplicate this line, rotate it, switch to Distort to make copy shorter, then merge both layers and decrease opacity a little. When you don't need sketch anymore in some areas, you can simply unlock Sketch layer and erase areas that you don't need. Now let's draw the girl's face. Create a new layer, pick this color, choose pastel pencil, and draw the eyebrow. Here, let's decrease brush size. Then go to Transform Tools and use Warp. Duplicate this layer, select Transform Tools, tap on Flip Horizontal, move copy to the left, and then rotate it. I'll move this eyebrow a little, then use Distort, and merge both eyebrows. Create a new layer, pick this color, choose Signature Graphite, and draw a nose. If you'd like to edit its shape, you can go to Transform Tools and use Warp. Create a new layer for the mouth, pick this color, draw a rough shape first, then use eraser to remove the extra. Create a new layer above it, apply clipping mask, pick this color, and draw a shape inside like this. Create a new layer, apply clipping mask, pick this color, decrease signature size, and draw teeth. Create a new layer, pick this color, draw big shape first, then use eraser to make it look as you want. Then go to Adjustments, select Liquify, and adjust the shape. Don't forget to change Liquify size depending on the area you're working on. Now create a new layer below the mouth, pick this color, and press Signature Graphite lightly. Create a new layer right above the head layer, pick this color, increase Signature's graphite size, and draw the cheeks. Now tap on the layer and apply clipping mask. You can also decrease layer's opacity here. Create a new layer, pick this color, and draw a main eyes shapes. Create a new layer above them, pick this color, draw a rough circle, hold for a second, choose circle from the options above, fill this circle, duplicate it, pick this color, fill the copy, duplicate this circle, pick dark color, fill it, then choose Transform Tools, Uniform, and make each circle smaller. Don't worry about the perfect alignment. Place them as you like. Create a new layer above these circles. Go to Color Tools, Value tab, decrease saturation to 0 and brightness to 100. Draw a highlight. Use eraser to make a soft transition. Decrease layer's opacity. Then choose this layer, tap on it, choose Select. Choose this layer. Create a new layer above it, increase signature size, and draw a light inside of this selection. Now remove selection and decrease opacity of this layer. After that, apply clipping mask to each of those layers. Then duplicate each of those layers. Select copies. Move them to the top. And then drag them to the second eye shape. Create a new layer. Pick this color. And here I'll choose Plush Pencil, but you can use Pastel Pencil. Draw the eyelashes. Use Liquify to adjust them if needed. Then create a new layer right above the circles. Apply clipping mask. Go to Color Tools, Value tab, and decrease saturation to 0 and brightness to 0. Switch to Signature Graphite, increase its size, and draw a shadow. I'll merge these layers. Move the highlight up. Merge highlights. Then create a new layer right above the face. Pick this color and draw shadows around the eyes. If you want a more simple character drawing tutorial, try drawing this cute autumn girl. See you in the next video!